Thanks, Babsi and Søren, for inviting me here, having me here at the CoreMedia Connect. I think Jens Christian also showed that it's connecting people in a connected world, and also best practice sharing what we do. And I really have to say, I really enjoyed the presentation from Ulrike because this was really, really top-notch, explaining what you can do. Over the last couple of weeks, I was thinking about the topic, and I said, I took the liberty to change a little bit the title. So, how ChatGPT is actually disrupting all of us. Because the thing is that, probably experienced it a couple of times, it's not just industries, it's much more. And later on, I will, next 50 minutes, explain a little bit why. A quick note on Gedankenfabrik. We are a Reinvention Consultancy where we help companies and people and to really transform. And our mantra is everything plus AI. So, and I really, again, thanks Ulrike, because you described it nicely, because AI should help us to make our life easier, understanding the risk and how to do it with it, but I think it's big, it's strong, and it actually didn't come overnight. On my side, I started my journey, my AI journey, my life journey in business in the FMCG markets. I used to work for Procter & Gamble, Coke, Appliances and Schweppes. Then I moved on to the internet space, eBay, Google, and I was also in charge of 3 startups. And a couple of years ago, I said, I don't want to explain the online world offline, the offline world online world. So I started Gedankenfabrik as a reinvention consultancy, where we really help people and companies to deal with the challenges and opportunities in the intelligent transformation age. The agenda is very short, very quick. 2 things: where do we stand today? 3 takeaways for the future. And so I have one question. That's something that's interactive a little bit. So experience with ChatGPT. Who has ever, from the audience, who has ever tried ChatGPT? Maybe you stand up. So. Okay, cool. Very good. And who has tried ChatGPT, I would say first time, the last 3 months? First time. The last 6 months, like 6 months ago, first time. Who actually was, using GPT-3? Oh. Okay. And GPT-2? Okay, GPT-3. So, I think it's good because actually, so Søren, was it the guy in the room who was trying it first time because it was not coming overnight. 13th of November, GPT was like the ChatGPT launch. I think it's much more. And I said for the guy, first one using it, I used Midjourney. A person is climbing a mountain with technology with others behind him. So you're the real pioneer. You proved it. So I printed out for you. So it's a present for you. So you get some copies. So it's just. The thing is that why we're doing it, because we can do it now. It's easy. Actually, doing the prompt, a little bit redefining, not so easy, but I think the important thing is a nice picture, and actually, I didn't know it was you. So, nice fit, I would say. As we know, not all in the room have used it, but you have to definitely do it, because this is something I would say in terms of digital literacy, AI literacy, it's really, really important, because sometimes it's better when you do something when you want to talk about it. As we know, 100 million users in February 2023. I don't know why they stopped counting it. I guess there are now a couple of 100 millions, but it's impressive. But I think the important thing is that because of digital savviness of people are really, really trying something out like ChatGPT, and this is really impressive. But there are a lot of numbers. Another question, or what I have said, maybe you take your mobile phone and answer the question. Because we have learned a lot about, what it could be and make it easier. Hopefully it works. Let me just check. If not, it's not a problem. So, just see. Put something. Send. So good. Come on, guys. We have 10. Wow. Cool. Just think about it. Cool. Very good. Oh, it's good. So it's just. I think we have a lot of optimists in the room, in that way. A lot of optimists, some realists, and no pessimists. Okay, it's good. It's just showing it. You know, there's a lot of numbers. I think that when you see and you read a lot, there's, I would say, some common understanding that not only efficiency but also productivity gains, whatever it means. But I think it's important because the same question a year ago, totally different. And there are a lot of numbers, tons of numbers in the market. I think this was one from Accenture, is that, you know, a lot of working hours impacted. But I think interesting was that, probably you can't see it at the end, is, you know, but offices, administrative work, and marketing, and sales, and so on. A lot of say departments are, I would say, involved and will be influenced by GPT or generative AI in general. But this is just the beginning. So it's just important thing to think about it. But the important thing is that it's not just what's impacted is there could be a productivity gain, but it really depends what you do with it. So it's again AI disrupts all industries, and this is also strongly influenced by big tech companies, Google and Microsoft, OpenAI. So it's not Wintel anymore, it's more like Mopen, I would say. I don't know. NVIDIA was at the MIT conference 3 weeks ago, and they are really showing self-confidence in pushing the needle. And there's more to come. Hugging Face, very interesting. So also the Chinese, Baidu. And as we all know, there are new kids on the block. Probably heard about Mistral, the French startup about language models. I think to raise more than 100 million euro after 4 weeks, that's good, I would say. So I've never had something like that. There's also a Berlin example, Naonik, and she was former chief AI officer at SAP, starting with it. So there's more to come. So there will be something on the European side. But definitely we have the lawmakers, they're already there. Actually, they're working on this AI law now for, I would say, a couple of years. But there's more to come. And I'm sure in a year we will have more. So this is not a fate. It's really a momentum now. It's gaining a momentum, and this is really a sort of revolution, I would say. 2 examples I want to show, and this was also Ricky mentioned, but I would say for me it's Grammarly, because when you use Grammarly, the great thing is that it's not just translating. I think also they have now this sort of where it's also formulating sentences. So I would really recommend I use it every day because it's showing in a nice way, in a more conversational way, not just that you wrote something not in a perfect way, but in a very user-friendly way. And the other example is Expedia. And I think with Expedia, I don't know if you know the example, but it's more conversational. So actually when you want to go on vacation, you can ask questions. I want to go honeymoon to Hawaii, and where should they stay, and so on. So I think that at the end of the day, and this was just one learning, is that everything becomes much more conversational. So we're just at the beginning. I think it's not a new thing, but actually now with technology and actually adoption and I would think proliferation of new technology, that's really coming more. And I just showed 2 examples because there's so much we could show. But there are AI tools everywhere. And there are some platforms, really helpful platforms. There's one I would recommend from Peter Karp, a friend of mine. It's Cogniwork, where actually you get a little bit, shed some light, I would say, in the AI jungle. So if you want to transform from image to text and so on, just check it out. Because I think the important thing is that not just using ChatGPT or Midjourney, there's more there. And the good thing is when you do DALL-E and Midjourney, you get a better feeling how it works and how you can use it in your daily life, in your business, and so on. So impressive, but I would say there's so much. Be relaxed because it's something you have to learn day by day. So it's more than you actually can do, in a day, I would say. I think what I want to do is give you then 3 takeaways from my side, how to actually use the opportunities of AI, because there are a lot of numbers, and I think that we agree you don't have to be afraid, to be scared. I see 3 things how to really to work with AI or generative AI in a very professional way: preparation, serendipity, and merge the emergent. Preparation means that actually all of us and in business, it's changing the way actually how we work. Because before we start working on a project, on a task, it's really, really important that we understand AI application helping us. And Ulrike mentioned really perfectly how it can make our life easier. Because in the old days, I would say when there was a project and if you prepared something, you defined objective and rationales, and there was implementation, and the green dot was a little bit like tools. What can I use? In the future, it's much more that you say which tools are available, helping me either to be faster, to be better, to be more efficient, and so on. And I would say this, I didn't just make it for CoreMedia, but I think when you have tools, much more. So you expect it, you work it out. And I think the example of Ulrike is that also explaining how creative we can be, much more. So this will be something for all of us, and will change the way how we work in general. So people have to be much more educated which AI tools or tools are available. And because the entry barriers are lower, it's not so difficult anymore that you need really, really a strong education and part of it. There are more like low or no barriers now. And just from the story, step by step, there was different elements, different tools we used, and so on. But the important thing is that in 2023, there's a lot of things coming at the same time, so you have to really understand how it's connected. On the other hand, actually how really the systems work together. But again, this is unique, so people have to be prepared. It's good when you have tools, but it's even better for people really using it the right way. Second tip is exploit the serendipity factor. I think the important thing with serendipity is something that you have to be ready. Something will show up you don't expect. So when you use tools, and this was the example, I said, hey, 2 tennis player, with a mirror. Interesting was that all of a sudden there was also the female player, mirrored in a mirror. I haven't thought about it. So this is something where you said, hey, there's something coming up. So serendipity, there's this lucky factor in it. So you have to be open. On the other hand, you have to learn to judge creativity, because it's not just developing creativity, it's much more important that you learn how to judge creativity, and that's the reason why, at the end of the day, you need now a more creative mindset. We know that you were starting from fixed mindset to open mindset, get out of your comfort zone, then you had the growth mindset, where you said, hey, I'm checking out something. The important thing now is that with all the new technology, you have to learn how to create, how to judge creativity, and really how to do things. For me as a creative person, that's great, but even so, I have to be open to learn something, what's coming out of the process. So this is probably the biggest change in terms of, I would say, people behavior, what's needed to be successful in the future, not only in business. Third one, merge the emerging. The important thing is that today we don't have enough time, but there are a lot of emerging technologies, IoT, AI, just name it. But I think what's important to understand, there's a convergence, so they are converting. So what we use now for almost 2 years is Synthesia, which is a great thing, where we say, hey, we have Synthesia, we have chatbot, and the cool thing is that when you use it, you have a factor 10. You can be 10 times faster, 10 times different things you can do, and just...
Hi, I am Karl. In fact, I am his virtual avatar. AI is a real game changer. It is nice to meet you all and have fun.
Enchanté de vous rencontrer et de vous amuser.
만나서 반갑고 즐거운 시간 보내세요.
Encantado de conocerte y pasarlo bien.
Tanıştığımıza memnun oldum. İyi eğlenceler.
Okay, just an example. But the important thing is that when you have the right tools to create the right content, when you know what you want, and the easy part is that with Synthesia it was like that, you have to talk to a camera with a teleprompter, and you're not supposed to move. I think that's something I did moving a little bit too much. But the important thing is that you're faster, you can use languages and so on. So this is just an example where actually, when we did it first time with Synthesia, there was no ChatGPT. Now you can use actually with ChatGPT to create content and so on. The other, with merging, another example what I want to show is that there's sort of chaining AI, where actually we know that you can use, an example, you can use image recognition with Midjourney. So there was a woman talking about chaining AI. So, we said, hey, we need somebody with a look. It could look different, but it was just an example. Generate text via ChatGPT, GPT-4, transform it to speech, and also combine pictures. So all of a sudden, you have a result that...
Good morning, dear students. I am delighted to welcome you all to this introduction seminar on chaining AI. Today, we will explore the fascinating world of artificial intelligence and how we can unlock its full potential by connecting multiple AI systems in a sequence. I am confident that by the end of this seminar, you will have gained valuable insights into the practical applications and future possibilities of chaining AI.
So we won't have the seminar. So I think the important thing is that I just want to make sure is that 3 takeaways. So preparation is everything. So actually a little bit more time needed for preparation to think about how you can leverage AI and tools. At the end of the day, the outcome will be better. So exploit the serendipity. So you have to be open. When you're a creative person, you have to be open that maybe something coming up, which is even better what you thought about it. On the other side, if you don't know something about a topic, there will be something coming with good results. And at the end of the day, merge the emerging. That's probably the biggest topic. So at the end of the day, I'm sure in 1-2 years, everything is connected and everything is, influencing. So we're just at the beginning, but it's good because it's a step-by-step approach. And last but not least, there's always one more thing, today also. We believe that everything is plus AI, but everything is including everyone. But this is another story. So maybe next time, thank you.